Hi there, Reverend Michael McMorrow, coming to you from the sanctuary here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, California. That's in the North San Fernando Valley, if you're familiar with the valley. And we're about 5 miles east of the Budweiser plant on the 405 freeway. You can find us that way, or you can just Google us. And we're right on Chatsworth Street in the heart of the Granada Hills Business Improvement District. And we're just going to start by just doing some gentle twists and saying hello. So if you're on the chat, make sure you say hello. And I have our newest practitioner. It's not a new practitioner, but new to us. Reverend Scott is here tonight. And we're going to be going back to presiders in April, the first Wednesday in April. So we won't be doing this little exercise thing anymore. Everybody says, yay! All right, so let's get a chair out. You can just sit where you are there. All right, so we're going to do some gentle forward folds. So I'm going to do it standing first, and then we'll demonstrate doing it as from a sitting position. So just take a deep breath as we raise our arms gently. Eyes skyward and exhale down. And we're just I'm going to put my hands on the back of this chair. Gently bend your knees. And just feel a gentle stretch in your lower back. And of course, if you practice yoga, you can do a full forward fold if you choose to. And then bend the knees and tighten the tummy, and up we go with the breath. And down, exhale down. And put your hands on your knees, on the back of a chair, or like I used to do in the old days, on the floor. But keep the knees bent unless you have a regular yoga practice. And we're just really allowing ourselves to feel that stretch in the lower back. All right, tuck the tummy. Up we go. And exhale down. And so you're keeping your back flat. And you just should feel a little release in there. If, like me, you've been at the desk this afternoon, release the head. All right, up we go. Tuck the tummy. And one more fold down we go. And breathe. Tuck the tummy. Up we go. Exhale. All right, hands on our lap. And before we do our side stretches, let's just roll the neck around. When I do this, it goes like crumpling paper. Really? Oh. Renzen said you could hear it with a microphone. All right, and then reverse and go the other way. And back the other way. So I go the other way. I actually appreciate doing these things because on Wednesday night I go home and I actually sleep pretty well. All right, so back to center. All right, so we're going to put our right hand on our hip, drop our left hand to our side, thumb out, and we're going to take a breath, and we're going to lift that arm up, look through our armpit. Now you want to keep your arm in your shoulder socket, and we're just stretching this. We're not stretching all this, we're stretching the side and the waist. And exhale down. Switch hands. The right hand is down, left hand on the hip. Up we go. Looking through the armpit and stretching that side. Exhale down. And right hand on the hip. And taking a deep breath up. And let's take a couple breaths here. We're going to raise the waist up off, or the ribs up off the waist. Just feel that stretch very gently. Exhale down. Left hand on the hip, right hand down. Thumb out, taking a deep breath up. Again, lifting the ribs up off the waist. Exhale down. One more each side. Left arm down. Exhale up. Looking through the armpit to the left. Couple breaths here. Lifting the ribs. Exhale down. Right arm down. Breathing on the way up. Looking through the right armpit. Raising the ribs. Exhale down. Okay. Just let's do a couple twists here. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but it's pretty good for now. So 90 degrees today. Yeah, in March. I'm so glad global warming is a hoax, or it'd be really hot. All right, so we're going to make our way to the cushion, or you're going to make your way to the chair. However you're doing your meditation tonight. And Renzen is going to provide me with some cover, I hope. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep using this Seahawks blanket, though. What's that? No Rams. One thing I like about the Seahawks is that they're still Seahawks in Seattle. Unlike the Rams. They're like hired guns. So Beverly, would you mind getting me this, our Flames of Faith thing off of the podium? It's on the others. There you go, that plastic thing. There you go. I appreciate that, thank you. It's just, once I get down, it's good to stay down. Yeah. Okay. So, what do you say we start the way we start everything around here, by just taking a deep conscious breath? And we release. And in this surrender, we're just allowing ourselves to surrender to this eternal now moment as we come together, recognizing and knowing that there is only one thing going on here, God and nothing else. That there is only one power, one presence, one source, one life of the divine, both impressing and expressing itself in, through, and as all of life. In, through, and as our life. So as we surrender to this moment, we claim this time for our own, setting aside the worldly clamors for this opportunity to simply be with ourselves, to be with each other, even in online community or here in the sanctuary, to be with the Spirit. And so we set an intention for our meditation this evening, taking a deep breath on that. Release, even as we release any attachment to how that transpires. We release any attachment to what our meditation is supposed to look like, how long it goes, how still our mind is or is not. Just releasing all that. And just allowing ourselves to be. So having set this intention, take a deep breath and release with deep gratitude and confidence. Knowing it is done, knowing it is so. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. So I just realized I reversed my order tonight. It's funny. So let's do our flames of faith, shall we? Got a little bit backwards. So we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. And fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this evening. So the first candle is lit for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The fourth candle we light for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. The seventh candle we light for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here in our sanctuary, within our online community, and within our own hearts. And tonight, as we light the healing candle, we remember Elaine Ocasio, Margie Leiser, Paul Mosman, Akira, and anyone whom we, all the folks in Ukraine, of course, and any place where there is suffering on the earth. We now place them in the healing candle. The names of anyone you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender. I surrender. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I surrender. I surrender. I trust in God.
So taking a breath again. Let's just treat again. Why not? It's 2 for Wednesday. So we just allow ourselves to surrender to this eternal now moment, knowing that we are resting in the energetic of the divine as we understand it to be, which at its essence is love itself. So we are surrendering to the wellspring of love. And in this way, we are allowing ourselves to be activated and energized, that we align with a healing energetic tonight by means of this healing meditation that allows us to shift and lift any tendency of thinking that has held us bound in any way. And instead, we are released into realms of thinking and being that have within them the potential and demonstration of our highest good. So let's breathe into that, releasing, letting it be, letting it go, letting it be so. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is, Amen. So a bit of confusion there. I'm like, all of a sudden I realized, how did I do that? And I realized last week we weren't on live. So we had that little glitch last week. So if you've made it back with us live again, thank you for joining us. And hopefully, so you can, if you have a friend who's talks about wanting to do meditation, we posted last week's posting is just a simple meditation lesson, at least the way that I learn and practice myself. So you can send that around. Your friends or family may thank you for it. And of course, we're continuing to work in the 365, where the month's theme is in faith. Tonight's topic is non-resistance. And Holmes writes that Gandhi built his whole philosophy of life around the theory of nonviolence. An ancient Chinese sage said that all things are possible to the person who can perfectly practice inaction. And the Bible exclaims, "Be still and know that I am God." Surely some great truth must be contained in this simple thought. There is a spiritual consciousness that, through the power of non-resistance, can change a condition that appears to be solid. By way of illustration, let us think of an iceberg. When the sun's rays daily fall upon it, it will dissolve. That which was an obstruction becomes liquid. Such is the power of nonviolence. That which was still can bring up a sneeze. There is something flowing in and around and through all things that nothing can resist. This is the something that the great and the wise have known about and have used. But too often our way is the way of resistance. We try to change the outer world without changing the inner first. So today, let us practice non-resistance, disregarding everything that seems to contradict the reality in which we believe. We affirm that it is operating in our life, turning resolutely from everything that desires the good we wish to experience. We affirm that good. There is no situation or condition that resists this transcendent thought, for we proclaim the omnipotence of God, the guidance of the mind that knows all things, and the peace that is beyond any and every confusion. And he ends this by saying, I say unto you that ye resist not evil. Excuse me. Excuse me, sorry about that. I was fixing the exhaust fan in the bathroom today, and it was kind of dusty. Even with a mask, it got to me a little bit. So, and the sneeze is a wonderful thing to illustrate this idea of non-resistance. If you've ever tried to fight a sneeze, right? Sometimes you can hurt yourself. So this has often been a very interesting teaching of the master teacher, Jesus. And I think it's right in alignment with, I don't even know why I'm saying this, so I'm not even sure if it's accurate, but the term Wu Wei comes up. It's something that Alan Watts used to teach. About the idea of just being able to be fluid with life. So when I think of resist not evil, I often think about just simply the notion to go with the flow. Now, it's seeming, you would think that it doesn't hold up when you look at things like naked aggression in the way in which we're witnessing in Ukraine right now, where an army, a foreign army, goes into a sovereign nation, really without any provocation. And I don't have an answer for that, to be honest with you. I realize that for many of these harsher aspects of life, that I am coming from them from a privileged perspective. Privilege in that I was born. I wasn't born in the United States, but my parents brought me here. And that I was raised here. And that we take for granted things like liberty, right? the ability to move around in our environment for the most part without being harassed, at least by the government. Now, this is not true for everyone, of course, but that's how the whole deal is designed. So I've always felt blessed to be here, and when I see conflicts going on in the outer world, it makes me grateful. But I'll tell you one thing I do know that I'm very clear about, and that is that my meditations and my prayer work helps to lessen suffering globally. And it may be in an aspect of, right, a drop in the ocean, right? But if we have enough drops, we can dilute any murkiness into the sweet water of the Spirit of love expressing. And that's why it's so important that we continue to do our prayer treatment work where we know that peace is in fact possible, where we do our meditation work where we're cultivating a sense of peace within, because we intuitively know that until we are peaceful within ourselves, there cannot be any peace out there. You know, the thing that's trippy about that too is as we're praying for others in this way, you know, we receive the benefit of that prayer as well. So that's why I've continued to do this Wednesday night service with a meditation that is 15 to 20 minutes long. And I appreciate those of you who join along because I know you're out there. And there's something about meditating with others, that there's a power in that. So, we resist not evil, and we know the truth that there's a living intelligence and infinite power and presence that is love, that is unconditional in its expression and is conscious of itself. And so are we. So let's just start by taking a deep conscious breath. And release. And on that release, just allow the shoulders to drop. And so we're sitting erect, but free of tension. The belly is rising and falling, and we're breathing easily and naturally. Begins to still. exhale. One breath. Taking one more deep breath. And releasing as we move now into the silence. attention gently back into the room, staying with the breath. So see with me now. Within the heart center is the flame of the divine. By definition, the divine, of course, is everywhere present, so it is within, without. So with each in-breath now, we are fanning this flame. Breathing in the light of the divine, fanning the flame of the divine. This flame now growing to a ball of light, a small sun within of the divine. Breathing in light, exhaling love. Breathing in light, exhaling love. That this ball of light continues to grow with each in-breath. As the light within grows and expands beyond the body, torso, side to side, front to back, top to bottom, we are now sitting in this field of light. Continues to grow with each in-breath. In the same way that you would blow up a balloon. Just expands with each in-breath, breathing in light, exhaling love. The very room in which we sit is now a field of light. And this light, of course, is bound by nothing. It's metaphysical light, now commingling with our friends, joining us in this meditation time. So we acknowledge this field of light and love in which we are sitting, as we recognize and know together there is but one power, one presence, one source, one life, one light of the divine love expressing, and that we are radiators. We are radiating the light of Spirit. That we are radiating this light within ourselves. That even now we know that this power, this presence is activated at an atomic level. Every atom, every molecule, every cell, every bone, every organ, every muscle, all the various and sundry systems of the body temple are now aligning with the pattern of perfection and activated by this energetic of the divine, this energetic of love and expression as radiant good health. that it is activating, this power is activating and is bringing light to every wrinkle of our cortex, that there is no place within us that has shadow of any kind, for we are bringing the light of the divine to it. And so in this moment, we are feeling a sense of activation, of restoration, a sense of wholeness. We take a deep breath. We feel a sense of well-being in this moment, and now we're sharing this sense of knowing that all is well with those with whom we love. We pull them into the light. We breathe in and exhale, and anyone we may be in discord with, on the job, in the home, old stuff, new stuff, we're breathing, bringing this now into the light. And knowing that the light of Spirit is being activated even now. Casting out all shadow. That we are knowing that we are casting this light of the divine within this mental structure known as Ukraine. That we are knowing this light and activating this light, shining this light, any place that we know or we are aware that the light of Spirit is needed. So we take a deep breath. And release. And know in that release that we are releasing this word, the emotions, the feeling tone, anything that has presented itself tonight, that we are releasing all of it to that aspect of divine mind that is unconditional in its expression, unconditional love, expressing. That place that knows only to say, yes, my beloved, yes. In you I am well pleased. So we take another deep breath and feel the release. And in that release, feel a sense of gratitude and connection. And the sweetness of that release. And so we know further that as we make our way home this evening, that we arrive home safely and in good order. As we make our way to our beds, the head hits the pillow, we drift off easily to sleep. That we sleep deeply, restfully, awaking, feeling completely rested and revitalized, with a sense of vim and vigor and zest for the day. Taking a deep breath one more time. The final release. And in gratitude for the many blessings in our life. Our loved ones, spiritual community, fill in the blank. We are so grateful. So we just let it all go, knowing that it is the Spirit that's doing the work. It's the law of its own being. Let it go. Let it be so. Together we acknowledge this by saying, so it is. Amen. So, boy, almost right on the dot, 7:59. What do you know? So, if this is your first time joining us, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell. It'll let you know when we're on live. Next time on live will be Sunday at 10:30 right here. Well, when I will be speaking to, we've been rebooting all month, so we're going to be rebooting spirituality and relationships. Last week we rebooted relationships and spirituality. So we'll see if I have anything more to say about that makes any sense to you. Until then, know that you are loved. Peace and blessings, and we'll see you next time.